We're back. I'm speaking with Shalini Sheth, COO of Surati Sweet Mart. Let's dive into the Blue Box program. Can you tell us about the program? I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't know anything about this program.
To be honest with you, I don't know either. And I think that's been a big question. For people who know, the manufacturers, if you manufacture in Ontario and you sell into Ontario, excuse me, you sell into Ontario, there used to be a stewardship program where the manufacturer or the brand holder would actually be subsidizing some of the recycling costs. So, let's say, for example, you buy a pack of my cookies. The plastic that you put into your blue box, the manufacturer would actually be um, paying for helping recycle. What we found was a couple years ago, there was a look to actually move the 100% of those recycling costs onto the producer or the manufacturer. They had a stakeholder meeting where they explained this. And the way it was presented, so I mean, this is just general math. If you're getting subsidized or you're paying a part of the cost, and now you're expected to pay 100% of the cost, you would expect costs to go up for the manufacturer. And at that stakeholder meeting, we were told, because that was really the questions, was like, what is the rollout? How does this work? And then what happens to everybody else in this program or people who are not a part of the program? How do you get all the other manufacturers? And they weren't really answered other than you will now be able to pick from various recyclers. So technically, make it a free market. You can then pick who you go with. You can go with the lower price. You can negotiate, and that's how it was presented. And at the end of it, it was like we're looking at this. We'll get back to you. We all of a sudden started to receive these emails from producers, or sorry, recyclers telling us, send us your data, we will give you a quote. When we started to see these quotes, they were nowhere in line with what we were currently paying. And then the expectation over the next couple of years that this price would go up. So throwing out numbers, when we were part of the stewardship program, we were paying close to $23,000 a year. This year for 2024, for the numbers that we submitted, our bill was $132,000.
Wow, that's huge. So just to summarize, it used to be that if you were a manufacturer and you had packaging, you had to pay the local government to for the recycling program. Now that's coming off of the local government or the province, and now you have to select someone to pick up that recycling on your behalf. Is that correct? Have I understand that
Yeah,
correctly?
so it's basically they y- you're paying a company to recycle your products. Now it is by region. So for example, you may live in the city of Toronto. So if you bought my cookie and you put it in your blue box, and this is how I understand it, and that's why I said it's very confusing because if I'm paying someone to recycle the products, it's really just numbers that I'm sending them. So it's not to say that you may pick up 10 different items in your blue box from 10 different manufacturers. We all might have different recyclers that we've chosen. So I really don't know the inner workings of the program other than I have a bill that comes once a year, and they actually told us expect 2025 to be higher. And one of the things is, although our volume has gone up, so our sales in Ontario have gone up. When we looked at the per kilo cost has actually significantly increased. So it's not a matter of the volumes. It really is the cost of recycling has increased. So, there is a no win-win in terms of being a manufacturer. And then the other thing I want to do also point out is anyone who is in the stewardship program was automatically brought into this program. Now, there was a lot of people who were not in the stewardship program, and they have some thresholds in terms of your sales having been a certain limit and things like that. But not everyone is in this program. So the ones that are in it are paying for it. And I'm going to say importers. So for example, if this product, our biggest competitor is out of India, anyone who is bringing product into Ontario, and selling, they are not paying into this program, and there has not been a lot of work done to ensure that people are paying into this program. So it really is penalizing us and paying for it all. And it's really, I don't think it has much of an impact, because if you have half of the people actually in the program, then how does that make sense?
So we're going to go to break. More on the Blue Box program when we continue with Canadian Innovators.